just a short one today. I know we're all upset when they're not longer, but we can only correct the mistakes we make. If we don't make a ton of mistakes, we can't do long corrections because I'm not ever gonna pad this out, okay? Because if corrections is about anything, it's about integrity, and we're never gonna do that. I would argue there's nothing on TV that I've seen that has more integrity than corrections. Should be noted, I don't watch a ton of TV. It's also woke. We talked a lot about the documents that President Biden kept next to his Corvette, did a joke about Ferris Bueller stealing his Corvette. A lot of you said Ferris Bueller stole a Ferrari, not a Corvette. Sure, but if Cameron's dad only had a Corvette, I think Ferris Bueller would have seen that. I don't think it was specific to that kind. I mean, would Ferris not have gotten on the float if the songs weren't Donkashane and Twist and Shout? Look, I get how this happens, right? You guys see a mistake and you race to your computers. Actually, we're already at our computers. Okay. But you gotta slow down sometime, okay? Life moves pretty fast. And if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you're gonna miss it. All right. We had a joke. A California man recently got out of his car to take a phone call and returned to find the vehicle had been crushed by a boulder. I think we have a picture of the guy. Showed a picture of Roadrunner. Joke worked, by the way. No complaints in the audience. But then a bunch of you said, you know, it wouldn't have been the Roadrunner's car that got ruined by the boulder. Based on the mythology of the Coyote and Roadrunner, it probably would have been the Coyote's car that got crushed by the boulder, not Roadrunner's. One person, though, said something that really stuck with me. He made that argument and said the Coyote's car would be destroyed by the boulder, and then the Roadrunner would come over and say whatever obscenities they had to meep out. Which I'd never in my life considered. I thought the Roadrunner was saying meep meep, but now I'm realizing it was Warner Brothers censoring whatever obscene thing. So this is what you would normally see. And so we sent our researchers out to find an uncensored, again, didn't even know it was censored, the uncensored original version of that same scene. Fuck off! We oft make jokes about how Vladimir Putin is prone to defenestrating his enemies. And we made a joke about someone falling out a fourth-story window. Someone wrote that a fall from a fourth floor wouldn't kill you. Studies show eighth floor is what you need to be sure. And I believe that because our offices are on the eighth floor. But when we started our show, NBC offered us far more beautiful, sprawling, modern offices on the fourth floor. And I remember, I didn't understand why at the time, I remember a shoemaker saying, "That's not high enough." I did throw a little shade last week at people for not knowing how to spell the name Shoemaker because it is in the credits every night. And then a bunch of you pointed out we only watch Corrections and there are no credits in Corrections, which is very fair. But you guys, you gotta watch the show on NBC. Just turn the volume down, put it on, and go to bed. That's all that matters. MGM lion roar. Looked it up. Somebody said it. Looked it up. It's true. Since 1980, it's actually been a tiger roar because tigers have fiercer roars. And so this was a decision that was made by, you know, whatever MGM's, I guess Mike Witzer is. So here's the roar. Let's take a listen. And I, of course, I'm no expert on this sort of thing, but I was told if you could slow it down, you can tell that it's not a lion. Let's take a listen. I'm a tiger. Mentioned a mid-century credenza and a bunch of furniture heads. Somebody literally said, I don't know what century that is. Look, if you want to sit down and write something about the verisimilitude of a credenza's date of construction, you don't have to. Talked about the rewrite we got on a really good Amelia Earhart joke, and then someone talked about how they had, there's a couple of Amelia Earhart statues. There's one in North Hollywood, and somebody wrote a very long comment about their friends, them and their friends watching it get built and having no idea who it was while it was getting built. And now I think it's also at Purdue University, but they said it's remarkable that this is what they went with for Amelia Earhart. So that's the statue of Amelia Earhart. And I will say, based on what happened, it seems weird to make a statue where she's holding part of the plane that should definitely be attached. Joke Seth can't tell. I've never noticed this. The opening graphics, a piece of tape goes over my mouth, but it is the sound of tape getting pulled off a mouth. Take a look. We found a solution, though. Let's take a look. Keep going on. This next one's a little tough to talk about. Yesterday's mono. We had this joke, and finally, by the way, when that's in the joke, that means it's the closer. So that, there's no joke coming to sort of clean it up. And finally, the world's oldest known person, a French nun, has reportedly died at the age of 118. And I gotta say, I'd feel pretty bad if I was the one who bought her that skateboard. That joke did not go well. Now, obviously, it's always tragic. To explain ourselves, it's always tragic when someone passes away. I would argue it's the least tragic when that person dies of natural causes at 118 years old. I mean, the last few years, you could even argue they're just showing off. But the mistake was, guys, that I cannot defend. We showed a picture. You can't show a picture. I mean, how in God's name do we think a laugh was forthcoming when we put that up for the audience to see? I'm not going to say who wrote that joke, but I am going to say that when I told it, I was phased. raised Catholic. P.O. Box. Sometimes it's great. Jackal named Maya knit this for me, wrote a very nice letter. Here's a jackal you can have. That's the sort of reason we have the P.O. Box. Meaningful gifts that can be added to our menagerie of lovely things. This is the kind of thing I can't stress enough I don't want anymore. Talked about Mac Tonight. We've talked about how distressing I find Mac Tonight. This is a piece of original art that once I have seen, I can't unsee this. Like, what is this even? What are you trying to say? Are we the same person? Is his evil inside of me? When he goes on a rampage, is that blood on mine hands? Do I turn into him? Unknowing to myself? Does the transformation begin every time I see half a wolf? That joke's gonna wax on you. Well, like I said, it was a short one this week, and we do not pad, not now, not ever, do we pad corrections. So you will see me next week. Show the picture.